Yes, good morning, everyone. We would like, the first part of our presentation will be the result of our training needs assessment, which is precisely a precursor to the implementation of CPSP uh, that will later be, and they will later be aligned to the career progression fields of specialization. At this point, I'd like to turn over the floor to EnP Jonathan John Maldupana for the result of the TNA.
Thank you, Ma'am Gora. So let me share my screen. All right, so let me present to you the results of the training needs assessment for environmental planners conducted by the CPD Council. We conducted this training needs assessment, or TNA, from September 1 to September 30 through the assistance of the PIEP. This Google form that you can see right here consists of about 24 questions, and it was cascaded to chapter presidents and in turn to chapter members. We initially received 447 responses within a month, but we extended the survey period for another month, or until October 31, and increased the number of responses to 659, as you can see here, or an increase of about 32%. But before we get into detail, here's the outline of this short presentation. I'll talk about the objectives, the benefits of the TNA, the profile of the respondents, the findings, and the recommendations. The TNA aims to identify the most important and most urgent training needs of Filipino ENPs throughout the world. It will serve as an input in the creation of a CPD training framework or roadmap and the development of CPD training modules. It can also serve as an input to the career progression and specialization program and the credit accumulation and transfer system. ENPs will benefit from this TNA as it will create a clear path for the professional growth and development. For CPD providers, the TNA will enable them to offer trainings that are timely or urgent, relevant, and important. This will also help ensure full attendance and sustainable operations for our CPD providers. For the APO, for PIEP, the TNA will guide the selection of themes and topics in national trainings, seminars, and conventions. For the government, the TNA can help assure LGUs and NGAs that ENPs in leadership and supporting positions are equipped with the needed knowledge and skills to effectively and efficiently deliver their services. For the academe, the TNA may be used by HEIs offering or will be offering environmental planning as a consideration in designing or redesigning their curriculums. And finally, for NGOs and other organizations, this can help them effectively partner with ENPs in government, private practice, and academe in training, seminars, volunteer work, and other activities. Now, for the profile of the respondents of the TNA, as I've mentioned a while ago, we had 659 respondents. So this represents 10.23% of the total number of licensed environmental planners, which is as of date is 6,443. There's about the same number of male and female respondents, and the age group with the most number of respondents is 40 to 44. The average age is 43. Mimaropa and Bicol regions have the most number of respondents, each with 104, and combined they represent about 31.6% of the total. So as you can see here in the map, the bluer, the more number of respondents, the redder, the fewer number of respondents. Luzon has inordinately more respondents than Visayas and Mindanao combined. About 73% of respondents are from Luzon. Majority of respondents work in the national or local government, including overlaps with other sectors. There are 535 respondents, or 81%, from the government, 109 respondents from the private sector, and 64 respondents, or 9.71%, from the academe. More than half of the respondents, or 53.3%, have advanced degrees, that is, postgraduate, master's, and doctorate. And nearly 3/4 of the respondents have less than 10 years in the current profession or practice. About 15.8% have 10 to 20 years, while only 11.8% have more than 20 years. And about 94.5% of respondents were licensed from 2014 to 2019 or after the ENP law was passed in 2013. Only 5.5% of respondents were licensed from 1983 to 2013. The chapter with the greatest number of respondents is North Luzon with 110. This is twice the size of the second largest, which is Camarines, followed by Palawan and Oriental Mindoro. Now, for the findings of this TNA, it's divided into three subsections. First, by type of plan, then by planning tool or aspect of plan preparation, and then by development sector. So first, the findings by type of plan. Here's the bird's eye view of all the plans that we have listed in the TNA. It includes all the 30 plus mandated plans, including specific studies such as feasibility study and carrying capacity study. I'll be zooming in later to the top 10 and top 20, but for the highlights of this chart, 78% need training in the preparation of plans for pandemic prevention, response, mitigation, rehabilitation, and recovery. 69% need training in the preparation of CLUPs, 64% in CDPs, and 52% need training in the preparation of LCCAPs, or Local Climate Change Action Plans, which is also an immediate need to address the climate crisis and help meet the country's commitment to reduce our greenhouse gas emissions by 70% by 2030. So let me zoom in to the top 10. I've already mentioned the top 4. Fifth highest is Land Use Development and Infrastructure Plan, followed by Ecological Solid Waste Management Plan, Project Feasibility Study, Sustainable Area Development Plan, LDREAM Plan, and Carrying Capacity Study. Top 11 to 20, Planning for Eco Parks, FLUP, Comprehensive Local Transport Plan, Local Tourism Development Plan, Local Public Transport Route Plan, which is also a part of the Comprehensive Local Transport Plan, Local Shelter Plan, Comprehensive Master Development Plan, Watershed Management Plan, ADS-DPP, and Barangay Development Plan. So these are the results for the type of plan. Now for the findings by planning tool or aspect of plan preparation, which cut across all those types of plans. Here's a bird's eye view. I will be zooming in later to the top 10 and top 20. But for the highlights of this chart, 2/3 of the respondents require training in the CLUP and CDP process. All plans require the planning aspect with the second highest, which is data collection, analysis, presentation, and interpretation. Also consistent with the results from the previous slides, 62% require training in CIDRA, or Climate and Disaster Risk Assessment, which is needed in the CLUP, CDP, and LCCAP preparation. GIS mapping, ecological profiling, and other planning tools and aspects that support the preparation of CLUPs and CDPs also rank high. So let me zoom in to the top 10. I've already mentioned the first to the 7th. The 8th is training design, module writing, and capacity building, followed by technical report writing, and the land use or land cover projection using land use sim, which was introduced to us just this year by the DOST and Planades training. Top 11 to 20, preparation of the LDIP, land use accounting, mainstreaming CCA and DRR, economic analysis, which is part of feasibility studies and master plans, drafting of the zoning ordinance, project management for plan preparation based on the PM book or the project management book of knowledge, which is sort of the Bible for project management. This, of course, includes scheduling, costing, and resource allocation, writing a project brief, part of CDP preparation, workshop facilitation, and alignment of plans, budgeting, and procurement. So these are the results for the training needs by planning tool or aspect of plan preparation. For the final section, findings by development sector. Planning for housing and for health and sanitation rank among the social subsectors with the highest number of respondents needing training. These are followed by social welfare, protective services, education, rights of IPs, and sports and recreation. CCA and DRR are the environmental subsectors with the most number of respondents needing training. These are followed by solid waste, water, biodiversity, forest, soil, air, and coastal resource management. Planning for agriculture, fisheries, and forestry rank highest among the economic subsectors, followed by tourism, poverty reduction, heritage conservation, MSMEs, co-ops, entrepreneurship, employment, trade and commerce, knowledge economy, manufacturing, and mining. 528 out of 659 respondents, or 80%, need training in the planning for green infrastructure. That is parks, playgrounds, and network of green open spaces. So let me just zoom in to the top 10. So green infrastructure is followed by urban design, drainage and flood control, urban renewal, green buildings, PUDs, water, traffic management, sewage, and roads and bridges. Finally, 72% need training on how to create public-private partnerships and linkages. And this is followed by competitiveness of local governments, optimizing organizational structures, acquiring green financing, quality management, fiscal management, information management, legislative output, and business improvement districts. All right. So for the recommendations, based on the types of plan, we need to prioritize for the next few years CPD topics on pandemic prevention, response mitigation, rehabilitation, and recovery, as well as CLUP, CDP, LCCAP, LUDIP, ESWM plan, LDRRM plan, project feasibility study, and carrying capacity study. As for the planning aspects and planning tools, we need to prioritize the following CDP topics: implementing the CLUP and CDP process, everything about data management, CIDRA, basic and advanced mapping with GIS, ecological profiling, training design, module writing, capacity building, technical report writing, and land use or land cover projection with land use sim and other applications. So for the next steps for the CPD Council, we need to prepare CPD modules following the results of this TNA. And we will be developing in the next few months a speakers bureau. This will help our CPD providers, including our PIEP chapters, to easily find the right speakers for each of the priority topics. And speakers from various regions and countries will be tapped as well and will be included in this speakers bureau. And if you have any questions, please visit our Facebook page. This presentation, as well as Ma'am Cora's presentations, will be posted here later, so you can just review all of what was discussed. All right, so with that, thank you for listening, and I hope you gained some insights regarding what we need as planners for our trainings. Thank you. Ma'am Cora?
Many
Thank you very much, JT, for that very comprehensive presentation. It was worth the sleepless nights with my CPD council, composed of first member, Jun Encila of PIEP, second member, Dr. Dina Magnaye, then we have the best MC, the best moderator, Boyet Tehuco, and of course, the hardworking Jonathan John Maldupana. As mentioned by JT, we will be posting this in our FB page, and you can forward all your questions, clarifications, because time is not enough for us to present a more detailed discussion on this. But one thing is very important, very significant, is that we will tie this up with the CPSP. So as I've said, before pa yung resolution will be approved by the commission, meron na tayong proposal for the different modules. And also, I'd like to commend our monitors. We have regional monitors, PIEP regional monitors, and we would like to engage all of them actively as soon as we have finalize the module, and we would like to also to enjoin more providers for us to be able to implement these modules that we're going to come up with. So thank you, JT, and